I'm here with Dan Vigeant. Is that how you say your last name?
Vigeant, sorry, good.
And he is the commander of the Alberton Vinyl American Legion Post 313 in North Chelmsford. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the Legion Post and how it got started.
Well, how it got started? I believe our date of establishment was 1935. It was originally hosted in the old North Chelmsford Town Hall. And then I believe somewhere around 1942 was when our building was established over on Groton Road. We're named after, as you mentioned, Alberton W. Vinyl. He was a World War I veteran. He was a wagoneer who later became an engineer. And unfortunately, he lost his life in World War I driving an ambulance. And so since then, we became established. We were named after him. We started as a low-level post, and then we added on and had our function hall established upstairs somewhere in the late 50s, early 60s, I believe. And now we're a fully functioning post.
Wow. The funny part about Alberton Vinyl is that his last name is spelled V-I-N-A-L.
Correct.
And everybody thinks of vinyl as in the siding, spelled V-I-N-Y-L, and it really screws everything up, and everybody thinks that Vinyl Square is like misspelled or something.
It does, and we actually have our house band is vinyl, named after the actual records.
Yeah.
So it is Y as well. So that does throw people for a loop, so we kind of just, it's a play on words.
That's awesome. So how does someone become a member of the Vinyl American Legion Post?
So currently we have 4 membership organizations within the Legion. So we have the Legionnaires, which are veterans, and to become a member of the actual veteran organization, you have to serve during wartime.
Okay.
Which is separate from the VFW, which is you have to have served on foreign soil. So we have, a slight gap between Vietnam and the Gulf War, Panama, different veterans that are eligible. Then there's the Women's Auxiliary, which is wives, daughters, granddaughters of veterans, as well as female veterans are eligible for that group as well. We have the Sons of the American Legion, which are sons, grandsons, and stepsons of veterans. And we most recently, just about 2 months ago, got our charter for the American Legion Riders, which you can belong to any group and join the Riders, which is the prerequisite for that is owning a motorcycle.
Okay.
So it's a motorcycle group as opposed to a club. So we're not quite on the one percenters. We're not outlaws. But there's actually a legislation that's being put through Congress right now to expand the eligibility. So we're hoping that passes to open it to all veterans.
Oh, wow.
But we're actually governed by Congress. So it's not up to me who I'm allowed to let into the club. They have to fall into that criteria.
Oh, really?
Serving during wartime.
Oh, wow. So are you a veteran?
I am.
Okay. And talk a little bit about your service and what you did when you were...
So I served in the United States Marine Corps. I unfortunately was only able to serve about 2 years of my contract. I had a medical issue that required me to be removed.
Okay.
So I got a medical discharge. And I was just in town. I grew up in Chelmsford, graduated from Chelmsford High.
Okay.
A friend of mine actually brought me to the Legion one day because they were doing breakfast. And we went, and I got recruited. I became the junior vice commander, and then now the commander of the post.
Wow. Now, is that the highest level of leadership at the post?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in charge of all membership in all of those clubs that I just mentioned.
Okay.
And I'm a member also of the American Legion Riders.
Okay. And you seem like you have a lot of events that take place at the Legion Post. Talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit. Coming up, most recently, coming up this Saturday, we'll be hosting a couple of live bands upstairs in our function hall. And then on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, we'll be doing about 700 pounds of corned beef.
Oh, my goodness.
that we cook, and generally we sell out.
Yeah.
So come early. It starts we start serving at 12 o'clock, and we just serve until it's gone.
Wow. Now is that open to the general public, or?
It is. Most of our larger events are open to the public, and so it's more of a fundraiser type event.
To benefit the post and.
Yeah, to benefit the post. Uniforms, things like that. I have a select group of officers that are particular members that want to help me and help the post grow in certain ways. We attend funerals. We present a Bible to the next of kin from the family. So certain things like that, that's really where our membership money goes. And then we have a separate operating account to run the building.
Yeah.
I'm more in charge of membership and things like that.
Now, did you say you were part of the vinyl band?
No, I'm personally not. We have, we have a house band.
Okay, all right.
So that was the play on the vinyl with the Y. you
Yeah.
know, so it's like an actual record. So we have a house band. We have an open mic night on the first, third, and the occasional fifth Thursday of the month. And that's when we host the open mic night.
Wow.
So that's also open to the public.
Now, for those that don't know, you have a really gorgeous piece of property that overlooks Freeman Lake there.
We do. We're right on Freeman Lake. So our function hall upstairs is an open rental to the public. So you can have baby showers, weddings. We've had weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, all kinds of different things. So that's open to the public. We have a nice deck. It overlooks the lake. A couple of weeks ago, we had what we call ice golf. And we have an 18-hole mini golf course that we make on the lake, and everybody goes out and just has a good time doing a little bit of mini golf. So it's another fundraiser that we do that's hosted by our Sons of the American Legion.
Okay.
That's one of their events. The Women's Auxiliary hosts a raffle for St. Patrick's Day. So a big raffle during that. We have live music usually.
So
It all varies.
So there's quite a few people that are eligible to be part of the VFW if they want to be.
Well, the VFW is
I'm not sorry, the Legion post.
Yeah, so anyone that's served during wartime. So you don't have to have been deployed. You just have to have your DD-214 says that you served during that time. So our most recent time of war is, I believe, August 1st, 1990 until present. So that covers the Gulf as well as the war on Iraq, freedom, everything like that.
And but as far as the Sons of
Sons of the American Legion, as well as the Auxiliary, that would be having a parent that served during a wartime. So if your father or grandfather served in Vietnam, World War II, you're able to come in, have just about all the same benefits other than voting within the Legion. You still have voting rights within the Sons and the Women's Auxiliary.
I see.
It's just not to the extent that the rest of the club has.
If there are people out there that are eligible and they are interested in joining, do they reach out to you, or how do they go about starting that process?
Well, they can start by going online to the Legion National, and that can direct them to their most local post. They can reach out to the post, not directly to me per se. And then we have membership forms for all of that. They can come in person and speak to somebody. There's generally always somebody there that can direct them to myself or somebody else, and they can give them more information if we're not available.
Yeah.
Because all of us are volunteer positions. I don't get paid to do anything that's involved with the Legion. It's all voluntary positions. So my officers, I have a senior vice commander, junior vice commander, post adjutant, sergeant at arms. My sergeant at arms and my junior vice commander were all Marines. We all served around the same time, not necessarily together. And then my post adjutant is an Army veteran, and he was deployed to the Gulf.
Now, a lot of those people, are they former Chelmsford High graduates, or?
Out of that group, one or two of them are, yes. Yeah, we're Chelmsford High graduates.
Coming back to.
And a lot of people, a lot of the guys that come down, a lot of people are townies, we have that as well.
Well, I always see, if you drive by, you'll see people out back fishing, and it seems like there's always some, good fun that's happening there at the actual post, so.
Yeah, the lake is really open to the public. as far as that goes, there is some ice fishing and fishing going on there. In August, we do have a block party where we shut down the road in the back. So we have live music. We also recently, in the past 2 or 3 years, we sponsored a Buzz Off for Cancer, where we just give them, it's their own separate group, but we rent out the whole building to them, and they shut off the road and do their own events.
Wow.
And we just kind of support that and do whatever we can do to help them.
Now, you've got this uniform here. Do these patches have any, particular meaning, or is this a standard issue?
It's pretty standard. Massachusetts state patch, American flag, POW. This particular pin is worn by myself and a few other select members because we had a member from Somerville who passed away who had been with the club for over 35 years. So after he passed away and we went to his funeral in Somerville, we then went to his local post and they gave those to us. So a select group of us wear those. The medal here that's just the commander medallion. There's different ones for every position. So nothing significant, because basically when we become members of the American Legion, while you still have your branch heritage, we're all kind of part of a different family at that point.
Yeah.
So we still like to pick on each other, but at the end of the day, we're all Legionnaires. And we all have the same common goal, but we still like to mess with each other.
Now, is there like I assume there's multiple Legion posts throughout the state, not just here in Chelmsford,
Absolutely.
but in other areas?
Absolutely.
Do you guys ever get together? And
We do. Most recently, the thing that's been bringing us together is the American Legion Riders. There are other events. We belong to District 5, which is essentially Middlesex County. So we have Drake at Lowell. There's a couple of posts in Westford. Some more active than others, have higher memberships, things like that. I have very good friends at the Medford post they also have a very young commander, much like myself. He's a good guy. They have a lot of events. So we'll get together for different things. We like to support each other's events. They have a cornhole tournament in Medford that's pretty popular. We like to go out for that. And then they'll come out for, our different events as well.
do you feel like it's difficult to recruit people in at this point? I mean, many, many years ago, people would join different, posts or like even say the Elks, things like that. And now it seems like, everything's so internet based that, it's hard to get people to actually come out and be a member of an organization.
Yeah, absolutely. People tend to have a certain perception when it comes to the VFW or an American Legion or a veterans club like that. They think that it's a cigarette smoke-filled basement, and we're definitely not that. We have our windows facing the lake and things like that. We've been non-smoking for, I believe, going on 8 years now, so there's no smoking inside the building. But it's also hard to recruit the younger generation, because there aren't as many events. They think it's going to be a bunch of guys sitting in a basement, a bunch of World War II guys, which we have very few of left, and Vietnam veterans that just are telling war stories, and we have a lot more going on than that. And people also think like, oh, I don't have the time to commit to it. But there's not. We're looking more for membership, and when you have the availability to come and help, we look forward to that, like those specific events that I just spoke about.
Right.
Rather than like, you don't have to be there every day.
Right.
Things like that. While we do serve alcohol, and we're not a bar. That's something that kind of keeps us afloat, but there's much more to it than that.
Yeah, it's more of like for the event piece of it, I would think, right?
Yeah, we're always looking for fundraisers, membership, and just being involved in the community more and more as much as possible.
Now, you talked about doing like funerals. I remember my friend's father was a veteran, and I know that there was like it may not have been like the Legion, but there was a group that came and like presented a flag and did a whole thing. Mm-hmm. So you guys have a group of people that does something similar to that?
Yeah, so generally my officers and myself will present a Bible like during the wake. Unfortunately, because of, we all have other jobs, we don't have the means to have an honor guard. We have provided an honor guard to the Wreaths Across America in the past 2 years, which is hosted at the Veterans Park next to McCarthy. But to go and give a 21-gun salute Like we just don't have the capability to do that. So that's generally the funeral home will contact whatever branch of service that person belonged to, and they come and present the flag and do the folding and everything like that.
Oh, I see.
But we try to do something for the family if that was a member that belonged to our post.
Now, before I forget, do you have a motorcycle? Do you ride?
Yeah, just recently purchased one. Haven't been out much, so this spring will be an interesting time. But yeah, we got a new group, and I said, well, you know, why not? I gotta be involved as much as I can.
That's kind of cool. How many people would you say are part of the new riders group?
Because it's so new, we had about five or six members come from different posts to start the organization. Then myself and some of my other members have joined. So I want to say we're somewhere around 13. But we also have people coming in because there are certain requirements to attend a certain amount of events to make sure that their commitment is there. It's not just to get the cut and the patches, because we do wear vests and we do have patches, but you know, we're not angels or anything like that. I don't know if I can say hell on the TV.
You're former veterans, right? So there you go.
Yeah, and it's also Women's Auxiliary and Sons as well.
Yeah.
So they all belong. You know, anyone's eligible, and also if they're members from a different post like Westford, they can join our riders without having to transfer posts. So it's kind of open eligibility for that, as long as they meet the criteria of belonging to one of those groups.
Well, it sounds like a really great community, and if anybody has the opportunity, definitely look into it. You said, you know, look at the state level and go from
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they can always contact us, come down to the post, call the post, and you know, get my information that way.
That's cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show, and people can come to that St. Patrick's Day. Is that on Saturday or Sunday? Or
Sunday we'll be serving. We'll start serving at 12 noon until it's gone. And it's going to be a full boiled dinner as well as sandwiches. So we'll do about 700 pounds of great corned beef.
Wow, corned beef and cabbage. There you go.
All of it.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.